Mike D checking in here. Yo, I wanted to talk about some artists who became CEOs that might have let some huge talents slip through their fingers. Now, we hear these stories all the time about, yo, I could have signed J. Cole, I could have signed Eminem. And many of these situations work, right? Like Dre with Eminem took Eminem's career to the next level. Eminem signing 50 took 50's career to the next level. Kanye, Rockefeller, you know what I'm saying? We could go on and on. But what about those situations where an artist had another great artist right there and either A didn't know what to do with them or, B it just didn't work out somehow. Now, I was conflicting. I want to go ahead and put it out there. I didn't put The Game and 50 Cent on this list because, again, I feel like 50 still was able to get the documentary out of The Game, even though I do think that's a huge missed opportunity as well. I can't imagine what The Game and 50 Cent could have been able to create over a duration of time if they would have been able to stay a unit and never had any issues. Like, that's one of the great what ifs that honestly can go down with, like, Ice Cube leaving NWA to a certain degree, even though I think that's the biggest missed opportunity. But no further ado, man. I'm going to start from the top. I think Shauna, DTP, Ludacris had, in my opinion, a star in Shauna. And Shauna was proven by, being on his single, What's Your Fantasy? Like, that right there could have been the introduction to her off top. She could rhyme, she had the look, you know what I'm saying? She could perform. She had the savvy, she had the swag, everything. And it was at a time when, you know, hip hop was kind of looking for that next, female MC, and she had a whole different style that, that Eve didn't have, that Missy didn't have, and I think that Shauna could have did incredible things. I don't know the details of what happened or how it happened. But again, she was proven being on singles like a stand up, being on What's Your Fantasy. She jumped on the Move remix. And to me, the table was set for Shauna to go out there and do incredible numbers, especially on the back of what Ludacris was doing at the time. Luda had, he had radio on lock. And I do think that there was possibly a missed opportunity when it comes to Shauna. So I have to say, Shauna, Ludacris, or, Shauna, DTP. Let me just say it like that. And then the next one I got, man, Rock Marciano used to be a member of the Flip Mode Squad. Busta Rhymes had Rock Marciano. And for the people who know, how important Rock Marciano is in this era, in the digital era, and just the hip hop landscape altogether. Now, granted, they're all still cool from what I've seen, you know what I'm saying? No bad blood or anything like that. Maybe Busta just didn't know what to do with Rock. Maybe there were creative differences, but Rock went on his own and ended up being the legend that he became. And to think that he was a member of the Flip Mode Squad, like I remember hearing him on Rod Digger's album. That was my introduction to Rock Marciano on Rod Digger's Dirty Harriet album. And I remember, like, yo, they were saying that this guy, Rock, he was replacing Lord Have Mercy. I like Lord Have Mercy. I thought that Flip Mode had a really dope collective. But when I heard Rock Marciano on the Rod Digger album, I'm like, dang, man, they keep getting guys that can rhyme. So yes, Rock Marciano, Busta Rhymes. I think that was a missed opportunity. Um, the next one, man, I was conflicted in this, but he has to be mentioned because there's two individuals involved. Wayne and Master P as it pertains to Currency. Currency used to be signed to Cash Money and No Limit. Now, granted, Young Money was able to, recover. He got Drake, Nicki. So we can't sit here and say that, Wayne, quote unquote, needed Currency. But I do think that Currency would have added a great element to what Young Money had going on. And I mean, clearly, Currency is a star. He's a legend in his own right. He has, a following of, it's just magnificent proportions, if you will. I mean, he's the type of artist that anyone would love to have his career, man, because he has a locked in audience. He can do whatever he wants. He's very free with it. And I do think that that is a level of longevity that would have been added to Wayne's roster. Now, as it pertains to Master P, I think that somebody like Currency could have actually revitalized No Limit and kept No Limit going, but it would have been a different direction. That would have been a time to really pivot. And yeah, I don't know if they just didn't see it. Maybe there were creative differences once again. But yeah, Currency is one of those that slipped through the cracks for sure. Um, this one's a big one, and this could have easily been number one. Ludacris once again. 2 Chains. 2 Chains was a member of DTP. 2 Chains goes on to become a superstar. And when you go back and listen to, 2 Chains when he was with DTP, it's like, yo, he was dope then. We don't know what goes on behind closed doors. I don't know if the stuff that he was recording just wasn't there or what it was. But again, Luda was huge and Luda was selling all kind of records. And to think that he had talents like, Shauna and 2 Chains, in his roster, and they weren't getting, from what I was seeing, what I'm saying, as a fan, they weren't getting that full on support that, they needed to be able to launch. It's wild, man. He was sitting on a superstar in 2 Chains. I think that 2 Chains would have been able, under the proper push, I think he would have been able to take DTP to that next phase, that next era, because he was the trailblazer when it came to, I didn't say he created trap music, but he did take trap music to a different level, man. 2 Chains was that guy when he jumped out there and rebranded himself from Titty Boy. Now, Titty Boy was with DTP, 2 Chains, Second Chance, and all of those things was the superstar. And yeah, I think that was a huge miss. But my number one, and you guys probably already know it from here, man. Freddie Gibbs. Jeezy had Freddie Gibbs on his roster. And what we've seen Freddie Gibbs be able to, put out over the past 10 years, I see people online talking about Freddie has the best catalog of albums in this era. I mean, look, I don't know what Jeezy and them saw or what they didn't see, but what I hear is a guy who's very versatile on the mic. He can mesh with any type of production. I think that's his best gift. The fact that he does have his stories, but he's super versatile. He's able to do any and everything. And you can't help but think, just based on the catalog of music that we know from Freddie now, you can't help but think that maybe this was about, creative control, direction, and things of that nature. But to think about how big Jeezy was at a certain period and having a talent like Freddie around him who could possibly have taken, his label and his brand to the next level, I have to say this is the biggest drop. And it's close to the 2 Chains thing, but I think this one is the biggest drop. Now, I want to know what you guys' opinions are. And, what I'm saying, if you guys think that I missed anything or missed anybody, because there's a lot of situations out there where, artists just either didn't see it, they were focused on something else. I'm going to give you guys an honorable mention, and maybe you can put this in the comments too, or any other ones that I'm missing, or any other honorable mentions. I think that T.I. missed the boat when it came to B.O.B. I think the B.O.B. had incredible potential to, make crossover records, make dope records, and really send um, um, Grand Hustle into a different direction. And I don't know if he got the support or if it was more about trying to make him mesh in with what Grand Hustle's culture was. I think he was something different. They could have expanded that label and, done it in that way. So I do think that's a miss too. I didn't put that on the list because again, I think that these just never happened for, the individuals involved where B.O.B. had a little bit of success under Grand Hustle. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. Y'all hit like and subscribe. I appreciate it. All right.